Okay, I'm going to tell the story about how we got Grace Harbor Farms and Grace Harbor International going. In 1999, we were one of those families that was getting ready for Y2K, and we had all the gardens and the water and all the things put together in case the commerce of the world came to a screeching halt at the turn of the millennium. And I said to my husband, I think we ought to get a couple of goats for the dairy products. And he just rolled his eyes like, oh, it's this woman you gave me, Lord, what do I do with her? But he has never denied me anything, so we got the goats, which we very much enjoyed. A lot of fun with the goats. And somewhere along the line, someone told us that you could make soap with goat's milk. It was really good for people's skin, and my sister told me that a friend of hers sold goat milk soap at a farmer's market, and they were doing pretty well with that. So when the commerce of the world did not come to a screeching halt at the turn of the millennium, and we had by that time made some goat milk soap and all loved it, so well, let's go ahead, let's sell the goat milk soap at the farmer's market and see if we can get these goats to pay for themselves. Well, people started coming back and telling us all these stories about skin problems clearing up from the goat milk soap, and they begged me to figure out how to make lotions in addition with goat milk. So I love the challenge, so I figured out how to make some lotions, started selling those, and the stories just kept increasing. People with rosacea and psoriasis and skin diseases I'd never heard of were telling me that this stuff was just wonderful for them. And where could they find us when the farmer's market season got over? That's when we decided to rent a kiosk at the mall, Bellis Fair Mall in Bellingham. We were there for 2.5 years, selling soaps and lotions, making a lot of soap to pay the rent at the mall. But it launched the business, and at that time we also started getting an internet business going. But another interesting thing was going on when people find out that you've got goats, they wonder, oh, you make cheese. Well, we weren't making any cheese, but people kept asking us about goat cheese. And the goats kept multiplying, producing a lot more milk than we needed just for making soaps and lotions. So Tim and I said, well, we either should follow this lead to make cheese, or we're going to have to get rid of some goats. So we decided to get the license, got the grade A license to make cheese. Started making cheese, which was wonderful, so it was doing okay. But immediately, as soon as we were licensed to do dairy things, people are asking for bottled milk. So we resisted that for a year. We said, no, we don't bottle milk, we just make cheese. But again, the pressure was on us, okay, we'll make the bottled milk. And as soon as we started bottling milk, we had nothing left, no milk left over for cheese. That was it, and the milk demand was huge. Well, about the same time, my feet collapsed. I've been working in the creamery making cheese, and my feet just totally collapsed. I couldn't stand on them. And I was standing at the counter one day, it was a very specific day, making cheese, and my feet were just killing me. And I'm a Christian, I was talking to the Lord and saying, oh, it's okay, it's just pain, I can deal with it. And suddenly I couldn't deal with it. My feet collapsed, and I turned around, pulled myself up on the counter behind me, and just cried. And Tim went and got me a wheelchair that very afternoon, and I didn't walk for 6 months. And somewhere along the line, after about 6 months, somebody said, well, you should be taking MSM for your whatever's going on with your feet. And I'd never heard of MSM. So I went online, did some research, and I found that there were companies making topical ointments with MSM for pain relief. And I said, well, I'm a lotion maker. I'll make my own. So, and again, because I'm a Christian, I also asked the Lord to help me figure out what else to put in this stuff. So I put as much MSM in our current lotion formula as I could put in with it before it turned grainy. It didn't feel good. So I still felt creamy. And then I also added 5 different essential oils that all had healing powers to them. Worked great on my feet. And Tim, again, my great cheerleader, said, okay, make this for yourself, but don't you even think about selling it. He didn't want to get involved with FDA or whatever we might run into there. But it worked so well at helping me get back on my feet that I had a girlfriend at the time who was dealing with something called hand-foot syndrome. And it's a neuropathy that develops a lot of times when people are going through chemotherapy. She was doing that for the 3rd time, and there's terrible pain in her hands and feet, and the skin sloughs off. And I gave her a bottle, and I said, here, try it. Can't hurt you, and it might help. Well, she came back in about 2 weeks, and she said, oh my gosh, Grace, you have got to sell this stuff. It's the first thing that's helped us, cancer patients. So I put the FDA disclaimer on the back that we don't claim to cure, heal any diseases. We just make this stuff and tell you how it works for other people. And we started selling it to the cancer patients, the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center in Seattle. Then the other stories started coming back. Oh, it helped my rotator cuff. It was good for my carpal tunnel syndrome. You know, I've got tennis elbow. I mean, all of these stories started coming back, and we looked at each other and said, oh my gosh, we've got something here. And we started selling it at the fairs. Started at the Linden Fair, then we added the Evergreen Fair and Puyallup. So for several years we sold it at those fairs. And it just took off. Now, where it started from nothing, now it's 90% of our sales is the MSM cream. We send it all over the country and a few countries in the world too. International customers. Great fun. So that's the story.